What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content, and I want to speak on some of the conversation that's been going on, and some of the rumors that's been going on about Malaysia Fulwiley, who plays for South Carolina Gamecocks. Some people are speculating that Malaysia Fulwiley may be leaving South Carolina, right? Um, and so I want to know from you all, like, do you think that she should leave South Carolina? And the reasons I think, if she is interested in leaving, the reason think some of the reasons I think that she might be interested in leaving or even considering leaving is, number one, she may not be satisfied with the amount of playing time that she's getting, on South Carolina, and so I know that for a lot of kids, when you go to a school, and especially somebody who is as talented as Malaysia is, you know, I think at any other school she will be starting, right? But because South Carolina has so much talent, for the last couple years, the years that she has been there, it's kind of hard for her, for her to start. And like I said, in a lot of other schools, she will be starting. But I think part of the reason why Malaysia Fuwali is not starting, I think, is because of her defense. Like up until this year, she has been better. Her freshman year, she was, her defense was not up to Don Stanley's standard. What they prefer you to be doing on defense. So this year, she's done a lot better defense. And also another reason I think she didn't start, she was the sixth person off the bench, is because of like some of her, although she comes on and she's instant offense. And so, but some of her shot selections are not, are not the best. Like like she sometimes she can go for the spectacular instead of just making the simple play or the right play all the time. So that's part of what's holding her back. But I think that comes with like somebody who is as talented as she is. Like I said, if Malaysia Fuali was going to, if she was at a school that's not as good as uh South Carolina, then some of the things that she would be able to get away with. Like though another coach would live with the shot selection because of what she brings to the table offensively. They would live with her defense, like her flaws on defense because of like the amount of talent that she has. But I think that her going to South Carolina and playing around, like the standard is different at South Carolina. So if she's going to play at South Carolina, then she really needs to raise her standard. And she may be a little bit frustrated with her role at South Carolina because I think that she wants more time. She may feel like she deserves more time because of the she stepped up on defense. But so that's that, right? And then you had this other young lady who is just, I just found out today that she's transferring, and this young lady is the leading scorer in the country, and she plays at Florida State. She's just transferring over to South Carolina, so she'll be coming next year. Let me look up what her name is. And so she's transferring over to South Carolina. Let me see what her name is. Her name is Tanaya Latson, right? And she's the number one scorer in Division One. Well, last year she was the number one scorer, and she's transferring to South Carolina. So South Carolina already, they got a lot of talent. Then you have this young lady transferring in, and I can tell you now, like being the number one scorer in Division One, I don't think she's gonna sit on the bench. I think that the fact that she's transferring over there to South Carolina probably come with some guarantees. And so, Malaysia Fuwali sees this, and she thinks, she probably thinking, wow, this is gonna cut into my time. Who else? I think Raven Johnson. I think Raven Johnson is staying too. So that's somebody else who she thought maybe if Raven was to move out, then she would be able to move up this coming year. So it's going to be a gamble for Fulwiley. I know she's thinking about, wow, should I stay, because she know what like this program can do for her and can do for her game in terms of making her a better player. But and that's if young people don't always think like that. I gotta think that though that Fulwiley probably would she has to have that thought in mind, like being here at South Carolina is going to make me a better player. But do she have the patience, or do she have the not just the patience, but the will to work harder and to do what Don Stanley is requesting of her, so she can be a starter and be a better player? In the long run, it's going to work out for her, I think, if she stay. You know, um, and like if Fuwali left, like one of the top schools in the country, like where else could she go? And start. If for her to leave, she would probably have to leave and go somewhere like a Florida State, or somewhere that's not as good as South Carolina. It's not like she's going to leave South Carolina and go to Connecticut, because the same things that Don Stanley requests of her, Gino Oriama is going to request of her. If she go to LSU, Kim Mulkey is going to request the same things, and she's going to want her to be, her shot selection is going to have to be better. Her defense is going to have to be better. So if she want to go to another top school, she's going to have to do the exact same things that Don Staley is asking of her. So I know that that's on her mind. I hope that, in my opinion, I hope that she just work on her game, and try to get to the place where Don Stanley wants her to be. It's only going to make her game better. And she'll benefit from it in the long run. Like somebody who has the kind of talent that she has and can do the things that she can do with the ball, it's only going to benefit her. So if she stays in South Carolina, weathers that storm, then I think that'll be the best role for her. But I don't really, in my opinion, if I was advising her, that's exactly what I would tell Malaysia. Don't just work on your game. Make sure that your defense is tight, and work on your shot selection. Sometimes she can press because she wants to show people how good she is. Well, everybody already know, how good she is. So there's no need for that. But I would just, if I was advising Malaysia, I would just tell her to stay in South Carolina, work on those two things, and I think it is, and it's not like there's a guarantee that she won't start this year coming up as a junior. So whoever's advising her, I hope they advise her to stay at South Carolina. If she was going to leave, which I wouldn't have advised her to leave even after her freshman year. Don't get me wrong, she can go somewhere else and she can definitely play. But I think that the things that Don Stanley are trying to get Malaysia to do would benefit her game and benefit her in the long run. So you never know though, with these younger kids, like where their head is at and who is advising them as far as them being able to having control over their career. And I don't know if Malaysia Fulwiley is a very popular player, and I don't know if her playing time also affects her NIL deals. You know what I mean? Like if she gets a certain amount of money, and that's a question I would have to consider. Like, because maybe if she's even considering leaving, money may be one, also another reason why. Because if your NIL money might be, they'd be like, well, you're not even really a starter. But she's even though she's not a starter, Malaysia is a very popular player, especially for people who know, people who watch basketball women's college basketball, they know Fulwiley, right? So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think money should be an issue as far as like the NIL deals and everything. But I think that if she do stay at South Carolina, I think that it'll benefit her in the long run. And it's just a good look for her. It's a good look for the program. And I know it's hard for young people to trust in that process. This is new to her. She's probably used to wherever she's gone, wherever she's played at before, AAU ball and high school ball. She's used to doing her own thing, and she's never really had to trust in this process. She's used to probably being a superstar wherever she played at and used to doing her own thing. But this is a whole nother level, and I hope that she stays. She just stick it out and get better on defense. And I think more importantly than her defense, because I did see like a slight improvement in her defense. I think more importantly than her defense, I think that her shot selection, I think is her shot selection to me is where she needs the most work. So that's my take on it. I hope she don't leave South Carolina because I think it'll benefit her in the long run. Let me know what you think. And yeah, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.